I'm in the Department of Engineering Professional Development. Our role within the College of Engineering is to provide continuing education opportunities for engineers in the middle of their careers, to allow them to continue to grow as professionals and to advance their careers. Our innovation started several years ago was to create some new distance degree programs, graduate engineering programs that are offered at a distance to working professionals that allow them to advance in their careers while staying on the job. The innovative thing there is that the content of those programs and how they're delivered is really tailored to the needs of mid-career practicing professionals, rather than simply recording something that's happening here on campus, streaming that and assuming that that's adequate for the needs of a mid-career professional. We have created several Master of Engineering degree programs. Started that with what we call our Master of Engineering and Professional Practice program. It's really an alternative to an MBA for mid-career engineers. Engineers who know in their heart of hearts they want to stay engineers but need management skills to advance in their career. We also have a Master of Engineering program in Technical Japanese for engineers and scientists who need to use Japanese as part of their practice. Several years after that, we began a new program, a Master of Engineering in Engine Systems, which is a great example of how we're using this model to connect world-class researchers here on campus with mid-career professionals. In that program, folks who are designing engines, all sorts of applications across the world. And then we're putting together right now a new program. It's a Master of Engineering in Sustainable Systems Engineering, helping engineers address issues of sustainability, helping to solve some of the biggest problems facing the world right now. It started because our department, the Engineering Professional Development Department, has focused traditionally on what we call non-credit short courses. Short courses of 2 to 5 days focus on all sorts of technical topics for engineers and other technical professionals. What we heard from an increasing number of those folks coming to our short courses is they would love to get a graduate degree program from the University of Wisconsin, but they were not about to interrupt their careers to quit their jobs and move to Madison to do that. So we began some research into looking what is it that engineers really needed to advance in their careers. It was really that research that led to the Master of Engineering and Professional Practice. We were asking engineers and their employers what are the set of skills that most mid-career engineers need to take that next major jump in their careers. And using that research, we really developed a curriculum from scratch that addressed those competencies. In the Master of Engineering and Engine Systems program, we heard similar things from, we were running short courses for engine designers. What we heard from employers was that there are lots of electrical engineers who understand controls for engines. There are mechanical engineers who understand the mechanics of engines. There are chemical engineers who understand combustion, but there are very few engineers who understand all of the engineering and science that go into the development of an engine. So again, we developed a curriculum from scratch that looked at all of the engineering and science, project management, and leadership skills that a leader of engine projects would need. So it's really been that approach of looking at what is it that practicing engineers need, developing a curriculum and developing a format that fits their needs, rather than simply looking at what's taught on campus and pushing that out. We've used primarily our own in-house faculty and staff to do this research, although we've also partnered with others on campus in terms of doing some surveys and marketing research. We have actually developed a product development process, if you will, that parallels what's used in industry for development of new products. It's a stage gate process, we call it, where there are phases, and to advance into each subsequent phase of development, there's a series of questions we need to satisfactorily answer before we believe that it's worth the investment of time, effort, and resources to go the next phase. Measuring quality and continuous quality improvement is a central part of the culture in our program. One of the ways that we do that is just developing a culture, first of all, that values quality, that says we're willing to have those hard discussions about how are things going and what can we do better. And so our faculty aren't feeling judged in terms of their courses, but they know that we are part of the team with them. So together we measure quality. The things that we do to measure quality are each course has at least an end of the course evaluation. Many of them have mid-course evaluations. And students see that we take their input seriously. We really do revise courses continuously based on that input. At graduation, each student fills out a program evaluation where they give us feedback on the overall curriculum, the format of the program, what they would like to see done differently. We also do post-graduation evaluations with our students, following up with them a year or two after graduation, measuring the impact on their career. And then we've also begun doing 5- and 10-year surveys after graduation. So we really do measure the impact. And some of those have helped us then to go back into our curriculum and revise some of the courses, and sometimes retiring courses, creating new courses based on what our alumni tell us they would have liked to have learned that maybe they didn't. I should say those practices were, we got recognition by the Sloan Consortium as having actually best practices for program quality measurement and improvement. And another good thing was that the U.S. News and World Report this last January announced their first ever rankings of online degree programs, and UW engineering programs ranked #1 in 2 areas. That was student engagement and in quality of instruction. So it was good to get that kind of feedback from an external source. What really works for us are finding faculty who see and value the importance of connecting with industry, with practicing professionals, and see how that connection benefits their teaching on campus and their research. So for instance, let's say folks in the Engine Research Center who are teaching in the Engine Systems program, there they get to work with engineers from Harley-Davidson, from Toyota, General Motors, you name it, folks throughout the engine industry, and they're seeing how practicing engineers are using research, using science and engineering to improve the design of engines, and that knowledge just then feeds into both their instruction and research on campus. So it's those professors who really value those working relationships with practicing professionals that love teaching in our programs, because it gives them an opportunity to have kind of windows and connections out into industry that simply aren't there if you're just working with students here on campus. I would say the most important thing is starting with what does your target audience really want to learn, what do they need to learn, rather than starting, as is so often done at the university, starting with what do we want to teach. We need to turn that on its head and say, what is it that practicing professionals are saying they really need, what are they and their employers saying they need, and then adapting what we teach and how we teach to meet those needs, recognizing that what we hear might not be the whole picture, but it's certainly an important part of what we need to respond to. Secondly, I would say that it comes down to adapting student services to the needs of adults learning anywhere in the world. Our students, while they have a home office, they can be in any part of the world on any given day. They travel extensively. They're working on very tight time budgets between work and family. So we need to be sure that the instructions are clear on what they need to do on any given day, on any given week, that they're well supported in that work, that when they feel any frustration, whether it be related to the content of the course or logistics or technology, that those needs, first of all, we anticipate those needs, and then we very quickly respond when they are having any difficulty. Also, just kind of the general student services here on campus. Things like, here at UW, we don't accept tuition being paid by credit card. Our program, we said that's an unacceptable business constraint, so we created our own way to be able to enable students to pay tuition via credit card. We wish we didn't have to create that shadow system, but it's a reality we had to deal with. There's so much on campus that's just set up for someone to show up in someone's office to handle a problem. We have a director of student services who is that ombudsman that helps students deal with any sort of issue they may confront. That's the reality of the level of student service that's needed for a practicing professional. Often we on campus think that if we create a great program, the world's going to beat a path to our door. Just build it and they will come. That's rarely true. Even in these programs that are rated best in quality, it's a very proactive approach we need to take to recruiting students, getting the best students, and getting them admitted. So we're very proactive with marketing of all sorts, whether it's printed materials, electronic marketing, sponsoring, ads in electronic newsletters or on Google. So it really does take a very proactive marketing stance. And something we've learned is that when someone does then respond to some promotion we're doing, having a very personal follow-up, whether it's our director of student services giving that person a call, might be me calling them. We use web conferencing to be able to talk to prospective students and to connect them with alumni from the program. So it's all those sorts of creative, internet-focused, generally, marketing, but supported with a very personal touch. All of that is needed to connect with prospective students and to show them that you're serious about your commitment to them as prospective students. So I'd say one of the obstacles we had to overcome was a lot of skepticism about the quality of online learning. We've done that. We have the evidence to show that when well designed and well executed, online education should be at least as good as what happens in requiring people to be within the same four walls. That really does require a commitment, though, to say, what is it that needs to be taught, how should it be taught, how should it be supported, rather than simply putting a camera in a classroom, recording that, putting that out on the internet, and calling that online education. That's not quality education. But with our 10 plus years of experience in online education, being validated with a lot of major awards for quality, and faculty in the College of Engineering seeing how these programs are bringing major benefits to students, their employers, and what we do on campus, we have the track record now to show that quality education can and does happen at a distance when well designed. I would say another challenge we've had is developing and sustaining business models that benefit all partners. So we have to have business models that are beneficial to departments, colleges, faculty, and that work for students and their employers. So we've had to be flexible in understanding the needs of various departments, understanding the teaching requirements, the salary support requirements, and for these programs, developing general models that then we adapt and tweak as necessary for the benefit of individual faculty members and their departments. We have learned from the experience of others on campus, and not all pain is gain. So it's a whole lot better to learn from the experiences of others when it's relevant And just as we've learned from others, we're glad to enable others to learn from our experience. So that's just an open invitation to others who would like to know more about our programs, how they're designed, supported, and the impacts. We're glad to share that information.